Every Bluey censorship in the US. Our first change comes from the second episode of the show titled Hospital, where the title card was originally misspelled as hospitals. Other than screenshots, I couldn't find any recording of the original title card, meaning that both the original and US version fixed this error quite quickly. The weekend is quite obviously a big change as it was actually one of the Bluey pilots, so just about the entire episode is different from both the original and the US versions. In the original version of Barbecue, all the characters call peppers capsicums, as those are what they're called in Australia, but in the US version it was changed to peppers.
I like pepper salad!
This change obviously makes sense because I'm an American and have never heard the word capsicum in my entire life, so I would have had no idea what capsicums are. So this isn't a big change that appears in the US version, but I figured I should mention it since it is quite a big change. But in Fruit Bat, the original penguin bathroom scene is completely cut from the UK version due to the game being dangerous.
Look, I'm a penguin!
Oh, wackadoo!
But really, I think this change is kind of dumb because this game feels somewhat unrealistic. In the original Bob Bilby episode, Buddy is in the credits picking his nose and then putting his finger into his mouth at the end. But in the US version, him putting his finger into the mouth was cut out presumably because Disney thought it was too gross for kids. But this is kind of a dumb censor because little kids do this anyway. In the US version of Yoga Ball, the captions called the Yoga Ball Ball-E as a reference to the movie Wall-E. This isn't featured in the original episode and is just an added Easter egg in the captions. Going to one of the more famous censors, in the original Markets, Buttermilk is shown pooping. But in the US version, they edited the scene to make Buttermilk not poop.
German sausage! German sausage!
Once again, this is most likely censored because Disney thinks it's too gross, but I think this change is stupid and should just show the original because it's really harming no one. In The Sleepover, the original title card was misspelled as sleepover. However, I couldn't find any evidence of this error anymore since it has been changed. In Chicken Rat, Bandit originally sneezed from sauerkraut, but was changed to him burping instead of an original. But Disney still airs the original sneezing episode on TV. This change came as a result from someone filing a complaint saying the episode shows food allergies as harmless, which I guess is a valid reason. If you've made it this far, please hit that subscribe button as it will help me out a ton, and also join my Discord server linked in the description. Thanks! Teasing originally said the words Ooga Booga in both versions,
Ooga booga.
Booga booga? Who's Ooga booga?
but at some point, both versions were taken off iView and Disney+. The episodes were changed on TV airings to say Shooby Doo instead,
Shooby-doo-wah.
Shooby-doo-wah?
and wasn't actually added back to Disney Plus until a few months ago. This was changed because the words were deemed offensive to Indigenous Australians, which I think is a valid reason for the change. In the original Daddy Putdown, Bingo asked Bandit the question, how does the baby get in the lady's belly?
Dad,
Yeah?
how does the baby get in the lady's belly?
Oh!
In the US version, this scene was cut out completely due to Disney trying to remove any reference to pregnancy for some reason.
I think I thought of a game.
And in my opinion, this change is really dumb. This is the final change to Season 1. Going into Season 2, the entire episode of Dad Baby isn't even available in the US due to it being all about pregnancy,
So you have to act pregnant.
and eventually showing Bandit pretending to give birth. This is an extremely stupid censor by Disney because this episode is hilarious and nothing about it is inappropriate for kids, so I really think Disney was extremely soft with this censor. In the original version of Trains, Bluey pretends to give Bandit a piece of poop as a ticket and has him pretend to lick it.
That isn't a train ticket.
Huh?
It's a piece of poo.
What?
But in the US version, this is changed to a slug.
That isn't a train ticket.
Huh?
That's a slug.
What?
This change is actually one I agree with since it is quite gross, even if it was all pretend. In the original version of Army, Jack says, "There's something wrong with me,"
There's something wrong with me.
but in the US version, he instead says, "There's something going on with me."
There's something going on with me.
This change was probably made because of kids possibly thinking something is wrong with them. That pack was changed for the exact same reason as teasing, the word Ooga Booga.
Ooga booga.
This episode, however, was quickly added back to streaming platforms, unlike teasing. In the US version of Cafe, the voice actors of Chilli and Bandit are switched for literally no reason. In the US version of Mr. Monkey Jocks, the line "Come here, lover boy"
Oh, come here, lover boy.
was changed to "Come here, sweetheart."
Oh, come here, sweetheart.
In the same episode, the line "He's gone crazy"
He's gone crazy.
was changed to "He's gone bananas."
He's gone bananas.
The crazy line was changed similarly to another episode in season 3, which I'll get to soon, and in my opinion these changes don't do anything better for the episode. The episode handstand has a deleted scene that isn't shown in any version of the episode and is an exclusive screenshot on Twitter. This is the last change of season 2. Season 3 marks the season where Disney just goes insane on censorship, and you'll see in a moment. In the original version of Perfect, Bandit and Fido talk about vasectomy.
Look, I'm keen to get it done, but Chilli, she wants to keep her options open, but I don't know. Do we want any more of these things running around?
But in the US version, this is completely changed to instead talking about teeth getting removed because of biting.
Yeah, I know, I probably should get it done. But I love my dog teeth. I don't know. What if one day I just want to bite someone?
This change makes no sense since the vasectomy chat doesn't actually directly talk about vasectomy, and no kid would even pick up on that. In the original version of Born Yesterday, Bandit is shown getting hit in the groin by a swing,
Man, this is...
but this was completely cut out of the US version.
Swing!
So this
But as of now, it has actually been reverted a few weeks ago, but still, this change makes no sense, especially since Bandit was hit in the groin in sleepy time. In the original version of Mini Bluey, Bluey says to Bingo that she looks crazy after putting on fake teeth,
you look crazy.
but this was cut in the US version.
Oh,
This is similar to the change in Mr. Monkey Jocks, and this change is just extremely dumb once again. In the original version of Housework, Bandit pulls his groin when doing a spin,
what? Ow! My groin! That's funny, is it?
but him exclaiming this was removed in the US version.
Ow!
This makes no sense due to the references of the groin in earlier episodes, but this change was reverted a few weeks ago as of recording. In the US version of Pass the Parcel, the poop next to buttermilk was removed, similar to Market's, and it's a stupid change especially since this was off to the side in the background. In the original Explorers, the bulldog said that he's from France,
And I'm from France.
but this was changed to say that he's a backpacker in the US version.
We're backpackers.
This change is one of the most confusing changes and makes no sense, yet it even became a meme to say that Disney hates the French. In the US version of Driving, Agatha scratches the curtains
Scratch your curtains.
instead of peeing on them,
Pee on your curtains.
which once again is an extremely stupid change because it's literally all pretend. Family Meeting was originally banned in the US, similar to Dad Baby, though this time it was because of all the farting jokes in the episode.
And Dad got out of bed, turned, and fluffied right in my face.
This actually caused a huge uproar on social media, and eventually Disney released the episode in response to the negative feedback. In the US version of Facey Talk, Trixie on the toilet was originally cropped out. This censorship was actually reverted relatively quickly, but I think this was one of the only changes so far in season 3 that actually makes a bit of sense. In the US version of Puppets, Unicorse says, "Do you want a bit?"
It's sweet chili sauce. Do you want a bit?
instead of "care for a lick."
It's sweet chili sauce. Care for a lick?
This change actually makes a bit of sense since the area that Unicorse was referring to was pretty much his butt. In the US version of The Decider, the phrase "we're gonna flog ya"
We're gonna flog ya!
was changed to "we're gonna beat ya."
We're gonna beat ya!
This change makes sense in my opinion since flog ya is a common Australian phrase but isn't said in the US at all. The beginning scene of Exercise before the title card was completely removed from both the original and US version. This is due to controversy regarding harmful ideas about body image and weight loss.
Oh, man.
In my opinion, this controversy was really blown out of proportion and really wasn't a big deal, but nonetheless, the entire scene was removed. This also makes the episode the shortest Bluey episode. In the US version of Relax, the line "Alright Dingleberries"
All right, Dingleberries.
was changed to "Alright Super Troopers."
All right, Super Troopers.
This change makes a lot of sense since dingleberries is usually a word used in Australia to refer to a silly person, but in the US it actually means something relatively inappropriate that I'm not going to say here. This is probably the change that I agree with the most coming from Disney. This is also currently the last change in the series. Thanks for watching, please check out one of the videos popping up now, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.